Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Wednesday. How's your week going? Let me tell you. Tell me in comments how your day is going, because I'm actually having a pretty great day, and you're going to find out in just a moment because I got some pretty amazing friends to introduce you to. So if you're joining us on the replay, let me know by commenting the word replay so I'll catch your view. And if you're joining us live, welcome to the show. It's been a strong week in the financial markets this week, as you know. But let's see how it closed today, right? We want to know because every day is a little bit of news about our money. The Dow closed up 60 points, the NASDAQ down 5, S&P also down 6. In the news, though, it's all about jobs today. Jobs. Unfortunately, jobs report isn't so pretty. Unfortunately, last month, it came out even worse than analysts were hoping for. November's ADP jobs report was hoping to come in at 440,000 jobs, but instead came in at 307,000. So the number was even worse than October's job numbers. If you remember, we were at 404,000 jobs, new jobs last month. Not last month, in October. So perhaps economists were hoping that there would be a rise in employment as we head into the holidays. You know, maybe more people working for Amazon. I don't know. But fortunately, that just didn't happen. And this comes upon more employment data from the U.S.'s Government Accountability Office, which shows that in 13 states, unemployment insurance benefits have dipped below the poverty line after the $600 a month federal aid boost, as you remember, expired in July. So hopefully we can get a stimulus package sooner rather than later. And actually recently, Eric Rosenbaum of CNBC shared that in a survey of major U.S. companies and their chief financial officers show that a significant percentage suggested that their companies, their firms, would likely be hiring next year. So this is good news. But still, a third of those U.S.-based firms forecasted that more layoffs at those companies would be coming. And so that's why we do this. This is why we talk about it. It's so important to plan for your financial future and be prepared. I'm working with so many companies right now, talking to their employees about how best to financially plan for themselves, and working with even more employees that have been going through layoffs and going through changes at work, furloughs, and all that stuff. So we'll see it. It's but on some better news, as you know, some positive news is Pfizer BioNTech vaccine is scheduled to be distributed in the UK next week, leading with healthcare professionals and the elderly first with their emergency use approval, which I think is always a good thing because that means the US, the FDA here, I don't know, last week they said they're scheduled to meet with the Vaccines and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee on December 10th to see if the same vaccine will reach approval for emergency use here in the United States. So fingers crossed. December 10th isn't that far away, so let's hope for some good news. And another vaccine the FDA will be reviewing is one, as you know, from Moderna. So I'm hoping that one does well. As you can imagine, cases are here soaring, and so health professionals are really hoping for some good news sooner rather than later. And on to some fun news. I'm guessing you guys are going to love this news because Dr. Anthony Fauci, the calming, steady, America's top infectious disease expert, was awarded yesterday a Lifetime Achievement Award for HIV and AIDS work by the one and only Elton John. Elton John, Dr. Fauci, I guess I can see it coming together. It's a big deal. On top of that, People magazine actually chose him as one of the People of the Year of 2020, and he's actually the face of the magazine. He's on the cover of the magazine, so that's pretty cool. And the interview included Dr. Fauci actually talks about being 79 years old and the director of this program, and he talks about, his recent fame. And this is something where we're definitely going to talk to Mike and Steffi about. But he says, it's surreal. In some respects, nice and amusing, but you can't take that stuff so seriously and start to think that you're a celebrity, because when you think that, then you get into trouble. I'm a physician, I'm a scientist, and I'm a public health official. So what are you? What are you? I mean, that's what I love to hear that because I think that's super, super important. I want to say a quick hello to CrossX Fighter, who's joining us from YouTube, and Get It Hair from Periscope's. Always wonderful to see you, my friends. And thank you so much for tuning in and for joining me on Twitter earlier today as we discussed sprinkle some holiday magic on your marketing. I feel like this was inspired by Stephanie Liu. If you haven't followed Stephanie Liu, you're in for a treat. We're talking with leaders of the digital marketing space. Our pro panel included Amanda Robinson, Mike Alton, literally one of the nicest human beings on social media, Mike Alton, and the amazing Stephanie Liu, authors of Entrepreneur Magazine's Ultimate Guide to Social Media Marketing. Can you see it? This is my book. And then, it's got my Post-its because that's how I roll. Thank you so much, my friends, for joining the show. How are you today?
Good. Amazing.
Really
Amazing. Well, Mike Alton, let me just start with you, my friend, because we missed you. And last time we did this, we were just saying, first of all, I feel like we should do hashtag nicest man on social. That should be your hashtag, right? Stephanie Liu, I feel like cloned that and started it, and we will all follow. Stephanie, are we glad Mike's here?
I coined that. We are so thankful to be graced with Mike Alton's presence. So thank you for blessing us by being here, Mike.
Actually, we got to start with something fun, though, because I know, Stephanie, you gave Mike something really fun to put in his set, right?
Yes. Can
we talk about this?
Get your friends that help you level up your studios. So, Mike, share the love.
Explain to them where these came from.
Yes, please do tell us.
These are awesome.
So this is a droid for those Star Wars fans, Mandalorian fans. My brother actually has his own 3D printers. And so he has been creating these little things. And so he created this for Mike. And if you notice, if you look at his little lens, his eyeball, it's when Mike looks at him, he's looking at a reflection of himself, basically.
This is 3D printed?
It's 3D printed, and then he polishes it, paints it, and all of that jazz. And so a little love for our friends, a little joy these holidays.
Stephanie, I'm going to just say, you have so much joy to so many people's lives. It's an honor, but it's heartwarming to have Stephanie Liu in your world. It really is. So, and I can see why the two of you are besties. And this is a treat to be part of your little party today. But, I know we got a whole bunch of love fest today, but we really want to talk about the tweet chat today because, we got to actually share your wisdom on the tweet chat. But I also wanted to bring you in onto the show because many people who are watching, we're going through the end of the year right now, are looking at their businesses, maybe their balance sheets, and wondering how they can end the year super strong. And so selfishly, I wanted you to come here so I could actually pick your brain too and learn from you. So thank you both for agreeing to do this. Stephanie, I feel like we need a lot of Mike time today because we didn't get a lot of him last time. But so we're going to talk. Let's share one of the questions. For those of you who weren't on tweet chat, no worries. You don't even need to worry because we got you. Let's share one of the questions that we had today. All right, so it's all about confetti because Stephanie Liu's in the house. Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday may be over, but there's plenty of time left in the holiday season. How are you promoting your goods and services for the remainder of the year? And the one and only Bernie, who joined us last week, said, it's all about consistent messaging and contact with tagging with a few prospects and clients to start the year off right. Mike, let's start with you then. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was this question or a different one, but I recall talking about the importance of email for businesses, particularly small businesses, and this idea that businesses can leverage the fact that they have a very specific audience, sometimes a very geographically specific audience. Like if you're a local small business, and you can use that in your email marketing and in your social media marketing. But in the email, you can get kind of intimate with your audience, and you can talk about the things that you're doing in the community, things that you've seen other businesses and partners doing in the community, particularly this time of year. Like I live in St. Louis, there are 1,000,001 things to do around St. Louis this time of year. We have stuff planned almost every single evening for my little girls to go do. Like tonight we're going to the Missouri Botanical Garden. Well, if I was a business who was targeting St. Louis area residents, consumers, other businesses, for instance, I could be talking about that and trying to find a way to relate it, not necessarily to a sale, but at least in a way that I'm relating to my audience on a personal level, on a human level, and do that in the inbox where people are going to be consuming your content at their convenience, at their leisure, and they're going to remember you the next time that they need your kinds of services.
Well, Stephanie, I'd love to get your thoughts on this too, because I know that, Stephanie, you also work with a number of brands throughout the United States and probably beyond too. And this is a very busy time for you, right? What are you telling your clients about making sure that they're in front of their clients? I love the idea that Mike shared about email. Is your strategy different?
Well, it could piggyback off of Mike's for sure, because that's where you always need like the assist. I feel like the email list is the assist, right? Because if you're going to leverage live video, one of the best things about it is that you get that engagement. This is where you could build rapport with your audience and you could get all of that dopamine hit, those happy brain chemicals. And with an email list, you could create a custom targeted audience. Whether you are on Facebook or on LinkedIn or even like Google, there are things that you can do to make sure that your video becomes top of mind and tip of tongue during the holidays, really. And so for a lot of our clients where they've shifted for Cyber Monday, Black Friday, and all of the holiday shopping is going all in on live shopping, on live streaming, because they know that people are, what are you going to do during the holidays? You're going to scroll through your phone. And so that's where they want to be. So that's where we're pushing a lot of our clients.
I love that. So it has to be mobile friendly for sure. Mike, maybe you and Steffi could handle this too. I'm going to start with you, Mike. You know, when we talk about, services versus widgets, right? Some people are selling things online. Is there a difference in how you would handle that sort of marketing? For example, a lot of us, like myself included, we're in a business of something that's not tangible, right? It's a service-driven industry where, a lot of it's hand-holding, in-person meetings or, virtual meetings, a lot of advice for businesses that are in that area versus people who are selling, let's say, like my friend Winnie Lamb with Wahoo's Fish Tacos, he's selling tacos. Do you strategize marketing different in those two situations as you go into the year end as well?
Absolutely. If it's my friend selling fish tacos, then I just have Stephanie show up and eat fish tacos on video, and she's gonna sell.
I love how this always goes to food. This is how you know
That's
that this
right.
is like food funnel friends. This is what we do.
We eat
It's all
lot
about the
together.
food. But yeah, if you're selling a service, that does require a bit of a different mindset. A lot of the strategies are the same in the sense that you want to sell on not necessarily the benefits and the features, right? You want to sell the experience. You want to sell as a business the solution, the emotional state that your target audience is going to be in after they've signed on with you or subscribed or whatever it is that they're going to do. And when it's not a tangible thing, that's sometimes a little more challenging to do for sure. And again, this is where Stephanie is so spot on. Video can be a really powerful medium for conveying that kind of success without having to come right out and say it, right? You could interview one of your existing clients, for instance, on a live video and allow them to share how they're achieving success, how they're the hero of the story, and you've supported them in some way. It doesn't have to be, over the top. This is how they use your tool all the time. But if they're able to talk about how their business has pivoted since the pandemic, or how they're, having a great, holiday season, whatever the case might be, and you are allowed to come alongside them and support them in some way, I think that's very powerful.
Yeah, and CrossX Spider, who's joining us on YouTube, says he likes the idea of fish tacos, but it sounds fishy. It's so nice to have you.
We love viewers like this. We love comments.
I feel like we should just eat on the show together. Maybe we should actually, if you guys agree to this, maybe we should actually eat on the show together one day. We'll have to put that in the calendar. Okay, Stephanie Lou, talk to me about this. I know, obviously you work with businesses. I know you work with a lot of different types of businesses, right? So, obviously Fish Tacos, we would have you there, right? Mike has already established that. Do you have any other strategies for sort of service businesses versus widget businesses?
Yeah, so this is actually a really fun idea that I had on a call yesterday. We were talking about a friend of ours that is a chef. And it's one of those things where you want to have that private dining experience with, let's say, your favorite chef, but how do you do that now in a remote setting? And so one of the ideas that we were thinking about was, what if you put together like your DIY dinner kit, and everyone that signs up for it will get their box. And then at a specific time, you will then have the chef go into a private Zoom meeting with everyone that signed up, and she teaches you how to do it, how to make that romantic meal. So now it becomes this experience not only for your viewers, but also with their family, right? Because they're probably gonna be like, oh my God, look at this. I got Winnie's son. She's going to teach me how to do some dim sum and whatnot, right? So it makes it fun. But even when the chef is saying like, hey, if you really love this recipe, you could still order additional ingredients, right? And then that could link to a product page or something where it's like, hey, do you want to enroll for the next class? It makes it really fun where you're having this experience. You could even say like, take a picture of your completion of your completed meal. Let's create like a user-generated content campaign, because as we were talking about in the tweet chat, you want to create content that continues to create value, and you want content that people will want to share. So if someone says like, look at this amazing meal that I made with tips from the Mike Alton on this roast duck, right? Like I would be all about that.
I love that, Stephanie. I don't know if you were reading my mind, but I actually made dim sum last weekend. It was like legitimately good. And
Where is my invite? Where is it in the mail?
I'll definitely text you the video on how to do it, because I was surprised how good literally, Stephanie, my kids were, Mike, you got to make it for the girls, because literally my kids were like literally as soon as I put the plate down, it was gone in like 2 seconds. It was amazing. Yeah. Okay, but back to the topic. All right. Next question is, engagement. Let's say question number 6. Engagement is key, right? What is the most effective advice for encouraging engagement during the holidays? Let me tell you, yesterday, I actually did a keynote for a very large financial firm. And one of the things that they asked me a lot about was how to do social media in my industry, which is highly, highly regulated. And one of the key questions was about engagement. So Stephanie, I feel like this is sort of definitely an area that you're really strong in, right? When people ask you, Stephanie, how do I get followers? But really, it's not so much about followers, it's more about engagement. And engagement is like the king or the queen, we should call it the queen of social media world, right? So Steph, how do we increase more queens? How do we get more engagement?
How do we get more queens? That sounds like so much fun. I would say as far as driving engagement is make it fun, right? I feel like this is one of those things where it's people are open to like bloopers and making mistakes, like not like repeated, like one after the other stumbling, falling on your face mistakes, but just showing your human side of it. And so as far as engagement, go live, show the human side of your business, do stories, show what's happening behind the scenes. And when you do stories, leverage features that are like built into LinkedIn stories, right? Where you have like a question of the day. That's something that you can engage with your followers, or even on Instagram. One of my friends just put this, it was like an image and it said this or that. And you could just learn about your audience of like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have hot tea or hot cocoa? Right. And I was like, hot cocoa all the way. And you see everyone else that votes tea. You're like, you're on the naughty list. Right. But there's some fun things that you can do. I even saw this one brand where it's like, hey, we want to learn more about you. Like if we did a live stream show or a video about these 2 topics, which one are you more interested in? They're like, okay, cool. And if we were to do that topic, then how would you like to view it? Would you like to view it as a blog post or this and this? And you're just voting all along the way. And just think of how much research that you can learn all about your audience. And you're like, okay, thank you. Thank you for making my job easy.
I love that, Stephanie. I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like, everybody is important. Everybody has value and everybody has something to share. But if we don't ask the questions, then it's really just a one-directional conversation. And actually, one of my answers yesterday when I was speaking to this group was that, engagement is actually very simple. Engagement means engagement. That means it's a two-way conversation, right? So I always say, like, I feel like likes are just like a pat, like Like, okay, I pat, and I move on. But like actually talking to somebody, that's what's so simple, but it's so important, right? Mike, talk about this, because Mike, I'm going to tell you, I feel like you personify engagement because you're always so kind to everybody. People who know you in person, they love you. But then it also translates really well onto social because you are consistently the same Mike Alton that Stephanie and I had baked goods with and sushi with. It's the same Mike that we see on social, right? So when people are like, oh, I just don't know what to share, what do you say to them, Mike?
Well, there's a lot to unpack here, so let's dig into this. The first thing is being consistently present. That's something that I've kind of prided myself in for years. Twitter's a great example. People will share content of mine that I've written because I'm technically a blogger, right? So I'll create written content. People will share it to Twitter, and every single person that has ever shared anything of mine has gotten a thank you from me on Twitter. And that's something that apparently is unusual. It just kind of, I never thought about it. I just did it. But not everybody does that, particularly brands. They don't take that step, that moment to thank the person for sharing their content. And if you really want to take it 2 steps forward, ask them a question. What did you like about this particular article? Why did you share it? Why did you attend this event? How are you using our product or our service, and how are you gaining from it? That opens up a doorway to all kinds of wonderful engagement, because not only are you talking to that individual who shared or was talking about your brand or your product online, but you're kind of opening it up to anybody in the world who might potentially see that conversation. And I mentioned Twitter specifically because Twitter is very open. If I share something to Facebook, or even LinkedIn, the only people who are going to see that are the people who are already connected with me. But on Twitter, it's a much more open platform. And particularly if you've got some hashtags involved in the conversation at some point, you could potentially involve a lot more people in that conversation, and you can expand the engagement, and that expands the brand awareness and the opportunities for other conversations to happen around your brand and around your industry. So I think that's really important, being consistently present and engaging with the people who are already, choosing to share, choosing to talk about your brand. The other thing that I wanted to talk about for a second, because Stephanie raised some really good points and some ideas about how to be engaging, particularly this time of year. I think it's really important for brands to put themselves in the mindset of their target audience. And this time of year, it's super easy because most people are thinking about the holidays. Most people are thinking about Christmas or Hanukkah, or we just got through Thanksgiving here in the US. Those are easy times of year to kind of assume our target audience is along the same lines. Our target audience is thinking about gifts for the family, or maybe they're struggling. There's obviously a wide spectrum of possibility there. But if you can do that, then you can create content that engages them, that steps into their story and walks alongside them. You can relate to them relatively easily. You can talk about long lines, and you can talk about traffic, and you can talk about, great food. I mean, we've been having this wonderful conversation about food. Everybody in the audience is relating to this because everybody in the audience wants to have great food. I saw a comment from somebody that talked about Landry's in St. Louis having great fish tacos. Stephanie, you and I were there. That's the restaurant next to Hard Rock Cafe behind Union Station where MDMC is located. So that's an easy topic for people to relate to. Food and friends and family. Lean into that as a business. It doesn't have to be about making the sale. It has to be about relating to your target audience and giving them opportunities to engage with you.
I love that. Well, I feel like, my friends, I feel like we need to have a holiday get together and actually eat food and create food together and do that. I'm inspired. All right, Stephanie. Yeah, let's talk about our last question real quick, and that is, it says if Santa could create a social media marketing tool just for you, Stephanie, what would you ask for, Stephanie? And what would the tool do, Stephanie? Lou, we have your answer here, but let's let you share.
Let me read and vocalize this. Sure, of course. We say it with enthusiasm too. I would love it if there was a way to copy and paste ad copy into an XLS and bulk import that into a web-based design platform that can automatically create the images and the videos.
Okay, can you talk people talk and share that with the rest of us?
Okay, I know. let's break this down. Okay, so I feel like sometimes when I'm creating content, right, I already know what I want the copy to be. This is coming from like my PPC Google advertising days. I would know, like, I know what my headline is and I know what the copy is going to be. So if I could just put that in an Excel spreadsheet and say, hey, bulk import into Easel, then Easel says, oh, I know what your headline and your copy is going to be. Boom, here is your Instagram story, your Twitter image, your 1080 by 1080, so on and so forth. And P.S., by the way, I have now animated this into a video for you because I know what your topic is about. So whether it's like cameras, lighting, microphones, all of that would be brilliant. That I'd be like, Santa,
Hook it up.
yes, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Gosh, yeah, I mean, that I feel very inadequate right now because I just asked to be cloned a few times. Mike Alton, what did you ask Santa for?
Well, I cheated because I work for a social media management tool. So I was like, oh, I would just like Agorapulse with a couple extra features because I like Pinterest. And unfortunately, not enough people have asked us at Agorapulse to add Pinterest. So
Can you
if you like
please add
Agorapulse
Pinterest
and
to
you like
Agorapulse?
Pinterest, ping our head of product and say, hey, I want you to add Pinterest because I've been asking for a couple of years now. But that's what I would like. I would love if I could also schedule and more importantly, monitor Pinterest. I talked about the importance of being present and being engaged and right and responding to comments. It is so hard with Pinterest. So it's so hard. Most people don't do it. Most people do not reply to comments because just the app is terrible for that. So I wanted that. And I also want to be able to roll in landing pages and email marketing. So that way with that one tool, I could create my social content, schedule it out, drive it into landing pages and send out emails and just be a happy camper. That was me.
I just imagined you as a happy camper. Like it's
Yeah.
all
That's easy.
yeah.
I was just like, okay, so like you lost me at landing pages, but I'm cool. Like for a pulse, if you want to hook us up with Pinterest, then Mike Alton would be happy. I'm sure
Same.
Stephanie would be happy. And let me tell you, for those of you who are still shopping for the holidays and looking for a nice gift for your fellow business owner, let me just tell you, Stephanie Liu sent me a really nice gift. This book called The Ultimate.
I'm basically like Santa. Do you guys realize that?
No, you're like
Gifting is my love language.
Santa. How would we say that? Well, anyway, you know what? I mean, I feel like we should do that. We should actually surprise each other with a Christmas gift, huh?
Well, can I surprise you now with something? My magic trick?
Yes, surprise with the magic trick. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it before, because I don't want you. So pay attention. Whatever browser you're looking at, whatever. This is it. Okay. Because I am about to.
I'm feeling very lucky right now. I got it.
All right. So I want you to pick a card, any card. Don't tell me what it is. Remember the suit and the symbol, okay? Because I'm about to make your card
I feel
disappear.
like we should have picked different cards.
Do you have it already? Did you already pick it out?
Sure,
You
why
got
not?
it? Yeah? Okay. Because I'm going to make it disappear. Because that's what I do. So let's see.
Nina, do you have your card? Nina's watching CrossX Fighter. Get it here. All right. CrossX
Crossing
Fighter.
fingers here.
I know you got a card. All right.
Okay. Let's see. Did your card disappear? Did I make it disappear?
All right, Lena, did your card disappear? My card disappeared.
You didn't just disappear my card. You disappeared the entire audience's cards, which were all different. Wow. Stephanie Copperfield.
Wow. So, okay.
I
so
give the gift of magic.
I feel like no words at this point. You know, I feel like this is one of those things where, like, Stephanie Liu, we love you, but like, you need to stick with your day job.
Oh!
But yes, Alina, I chose the card that you chose too, right? So we were hoping for that. But you know, Mr. Mike Alton was able to figure out real quick what was missing. But yeah, it's been real awesome. And actually, to be honest with you, I wish I could hang out with these two all the time. And so maybe for those of you watching, if you feel the same way too, give us some love. Tell us, would you like us to get the band together? Because truthfully, like, I just love these two human beings. And maybe we should have them come back and talk about financial stuff one day, huh? Okay, look at the fear.
I was like, if there's a karaoke, if you had like a karaoke of like how to read the stock market, I would totally be like, and then this is what is happening in this.
I could figure something out for the two of you, for sure. But yeah, amazing, Stephanie. We all love. Great job on the magic trick. And but I don't know about you, but I feel like Mike and I are still really impressed by the 3D printed Star Wars thingamajiggers. Those are pretty awesome. And let me tell you, like, Mike always inspires me to really build up my email list. So I feel like, email, right? All right, we got to give some love to Agora Pulse. Thank you so much for being such amazing friends. Thank you so much for giving me an amazing tool to work with. Thank you, Stephanie Lou, for being in my life, and Mike Alton as well. And if you're still looking for a holiday gift, this is a great one. I feel like that, the QVC guest, the host right now. But thank you so much for tuning in. It's amazing to help all of you. And we always come and we have these fun discussions, and we're going to talk about trending and real news and real people and real situations that you hopefully can relate to, and hopefully it'll make your life a little bit easier. Please continue to send me your questions and comments, and you can actually just respond here. It's so easy. And tell me what you would like to see on the show next, because that's how we build. Your questions continue to come in. They help so many people. Thank you so much for watching, supporting our program, and of course, sharing the show. Be well, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Thank you so much. And you know what? I feel like we need to bring the team back. We need to bring the group back because Stephanie, thank you for sharing your confetti spirit with all of us. Thank you, Mike, for being such an incredible friend. Stephanie, too. I love you both. I miss you. I can't wait to see you. And ciao, Bella and babies.